What's up everyone, welcome back, hope you're all doing awesome today. It's time yet again for more Reddit stories about Karens, crazy people, and everything in between, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet for more Reddit content, and let's get into today's stories. Caught the plasterer working in my house doing something shocking. I have been having work done on my kitchen. It is through a larger company who I tell what I want. They tell me how much it will cost and deal with everything else. Everything has been fine, apart from lack of communication on their part. This was until the plasterer showed up on Thursday. He just didn't want to do the job. He has not stopped muttering under his breath and complaining since he started, and he is really dragging his feet. It got so bad on Friday I contacted the site manager, explained that I couldn't listen to him complain anymore, and the speed of the work was simply not where it needed to be. The site manager assured me he would be moved to a different job. Well, lo and behold, he wasn't. I was out of the house when he came today, and the other guys on site let him in and then left to go get some things they needed. Not too happy about this at all. I come home, he is stood in my kitchen over his bucket of plaster, and he is just pissing into it like a racehorse. I screamed at him, "What are you doing?" He zipped up, looked shocked, and shouted, "It's not what it looks like." What the f else does it look like? I told him to get out, which he did without argument. I rang his site manager again. He obviously didn't believe me. Why would you believe me? Why would anyone do that? But I think the fact I was in hysterics has made him believe at least something happened. The thing is, this guy has had a few periods of time where he has been on his own in my house, so I don't know if this is the first time he has been peeing in the bucket, or if all the plaster that is already on my walls is mixed with his urine. So I have asked them to remove all the plaster and start again, or I am ending the contract with them and I will find someone else. They said that it would cost me extra. I am mad here. Am I overreacting? I mean, I don't think I can prove that he has done this, but I don't want to take the chance. I think I am in shock. Like, who the f does this? Mini update. The bucket with the plaster and urine mix has kindly been moved to the shed by my lovely partner. I have contacted the non-emergency number for the police. They were very confused to what the problem was, but eventually they understood. They said that there is nothing they can do at this point because who knows what would have happened. However, they gave me a log number and asked if I can update them if the company admits anything. As for the company, I have just gotten off the phone with the owner. He is trying to convince me to keep the plaster that is up, that he was just caught short and was going to throw the mix away, etc. I told him I don't care, and now every time I think of my kitchen, I think of this guy just urinating in the middle of it. I told him he needs to make this right or I'm taking it so far it won't matter anymore. Update. Well, I told the company about how much traction the Reddit post was getting, and if they didn't do something, I would attach their name to it. I took a guess the owner didn't want it to go viral. He sent around an environmental hazard cleaner the next day. Lovely guy. Usually does crime scene cleanups and chemical stuff, so was incredibly professional. So I currently have no plaster on my walls. I have had the environmental hazard cleaner in twice, once the day after and again a few days later when they took the existing plaster off. The issue I have now is I'm not particularly happy with their work anyway. In the time they have been in the house, they have broke my fridge, left me without a sink for 2 days. The plaster that did make it to the wall and ceiling was filled with marks and looked like it had stretch marks. So I'll be honest, I've lost all faith with the company anyways. So now I'm deciding if I want them to carry on with the works. Very unlikely. Do I want to keep the cabinets they have made? Possible, but I haven't seen all of them in person yet. Or do I just want to cut ties completely and find someone new? I think I might be doing that, to be honest. The labor costs were to be paid at the end based on a quote/contract, and I'm currently able to break that. There is allegedly a fee, but I literally have the sword of Damocles hanging over their head at the moment with the Reddit post, so I'm very confident I can get that waived and just move on to another contractor. I have, however, contacted Trading Standards, due to the many other issues I've had with them along with the pissy plaster. Honestly, it just feels like because I'm a woman, they thought they could walk over me. They learned a lesson that day, and they will keep learning it until I think it's sunk in. Neighbor lied about being a physical therapist to give me a massage. I, 24 female, have a neighbor, 40s male, and his wife and children. They have lived here for 3 years, and we have had a normal neighborly relationship throughout that time. He has helped me with home repairs, yard work, and I have been on friendly terms with his wife. My neighbor approached me a week ago telling me that he was in a physical therapy course that required him to give practice massages to 2 women and 2 men, and one of the women he had lined up dropped out 2 days before the deadline. He said he had a massage table, all the oils and lotions, a form for me to sign, and in a professional space in his home. I agreed since it sounded professional and above board, and I had known him for years with no uncomfortable feelings or inappropriate conversations. I was also very much put on the spot, and it sounded like he was in a bind. I also thought nothing would happen with his wife at home, right? A few days later, he came by my house at 10 p.m., wanting to give the massage with no table, form, or lotions, and wanted to use my couch. Alarm bells went off, and I told him no, and said that I was no longer willing to do it and to find someone else. He continuously tried rescheduling and guilting me into agreeing, including changing the deadline for having it complete, saying he had already told his instructor my name, he didn't have anyone to fill in, etc. It felt off, so I said no. Then today, his wife messaged me. She said he had been acting weird, so she had checked the phone records and found messages between us, but he had deleted the messages off his phone. He, in the same moment, ran over to my house and asked me to lie to his wife that he was doing housework for me, to save him in his marriage, and to not tell her about the physical therapy course. I obviously didn't want to lie to her, so I told her everything. She told me that he lied about being in physical therapy courses, and that he admitted he completely made that up to be able to massage me and use that opportunity to come on to me. The fact he invented a fake reason to get in my house, alone, to massage me makes me scared, since he lives next door and I live alone. I am tempted to preemptively file a police report since he lives next door and I don't know if he will blame me for not lying to his wife. But I don't want to jeopardize my living situation by angering him or inflaming the situation. Would I be overreacting if I called the police? OP, I highly suggest that you do call the police. They may not be able to do anything at this point in time, but at the very least, it would be good to start a paper trail and have this stuff on record with the authorities. Because this is seriously serial killer type behavior. To create such an elaborate ruse just to be able to give someone a massage? No way in hell is that something a sane person would do. That is absolutely terrifying. So yes, it'd definitely be in your best interest to report that. Stepdaughter lied to police and tried to put felony charges on me. I, 33 female, have informed my husband, 34, that I no longer want a relationship with his daughter, 17, and she should be facing serious consequences for her actions. My husband's daughter has learned to navigate life via manipulation because of how she watched her parents go through a bitter and messy custody parenting situation the last 17 years. She's always been treated as if I birthed her myself the last 10 years. Once she became a teenager, she used lies and manipulation to get her way. Anytime she wants to leave a household, she cries abuse from the adults in the house. She's accused her birth mother of physical and verbal abuse and my husband of the same. In 2023, she told police my husband punched her, and the bruise on her neck was from him abusing her. We had CPS and cops at her home, who discovered that bruise was a hickey from the boyfriend she wasn't allowed to be alone with. She got caught skipping school and track practice to be at this boy's house. She didn't appreciate being told no and not being able to smoke weed and do what she wants. Fast forward to June 2024, she's in trouble yet again for skipping class to the point of in-school suspensions. She's grounded, of course, and failed classes. Last day of school, she lied to me and I caught her in her lie, and she was being dismissive and disrespectful, so I took her school-issued laptop away since school was out. I took the laptop and told her I'd do everything for her, and to lie to me and be disrespectful is not allowed or okay. I walked out of the room and went to put my newborn to sleep. She storms out of the home and I let her, thinking she was blowing off steam walking outside, until I go to walk outside and police are walking to my door. I immediately knew that she brought them here. They ask my name, hands on their guns. I say yes, I am her. I'm holding the baby in my phone and tell them I'm no threat. They inform me my stepdaughter went to the nearby store, saying I was beating her with the laptop on her head. They said she couldn't show them a bruise because it was on her scalp, and she has a lot of thick hair. I scream for my husband to come to the door and tell him his child lied and called the police on me. Long story short, I have cameras in the home and was able to show the police I never once touched her. that I just took the laptop and calmly told her how disappointed I was of her and walked away. They were shocked at how calm my tone and body language was, as it was not how she described it. They brought her back. I told my husband she can't live here anymore. I have 4 other kids who I am the primary parent and financial provider for, and she tried to take that all away. Come to find out, when searching her laptop, she was Google searching, quote, "how to put my parents in jail for abuse," 2 weeks prior to this incident. The worker at the store later told us she came in smiling, asking to use someone's phone to call the police. Smiling, but told the police she was scared for her life and being abused. I could have been arrested without that video proof and lost my kids and job. My husband sent her to live with his mom, my mother-in-law, who was showering her with love and letting her have freedom. I told my husband she needed some punishment like community service, and he refuses, saying her only punishment is being kicked out, and he just wants to focus on her getting a job and getting on her feet. Husband says I'm childish for not forgiving her quickly and letting it all go. He's upset I refuse to have my other daughters around her and not wanting a relationship with her. Side note, she's called me mom for years and has said I've loved her more and better than her birth mom. I've invested therapy and a lot of time into her growth. Update: still no action from police. Stepdaughter is still living with my mother-in-law but has a job now. I am standing firm on not having a relationship with her and keeping my kids far away from her. Husband and I are now separated. Anyway, friends, that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. And as always, if you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. So take care, and I'll see you next time.